Okay, now things are really starting to get interesting. And Gavin Newsom released a couple weeks ago a video of him crying on camera. You can see the tears flowing down his cheeks, announcing that he's under federal investigation, multiple federal investigations, we learned, that originated from inside of his office. He also declared that Donald Trump is attacking his wife, and he needs to leave my wife alone. Yeah, dude, okay, that's exactly what Harvey Weinstein's victims said when your wife was facilitating those exciting interactions. And we know in court that your wife was actually part of the criminal enterprise that Harvey Weinstein was running. She admitted to all of it. In fact, the jury found her complicit, and then you married her, which is really weird, bro. Anyway, the point is that Gavin Newsom is a dirty scumbag. He's lying about everything here because Joe Biden actually began this investigation into Gavin Newsom. We just learned something remarkable about this investigation that will blow the lid off of everything. Gavin Newsom's cooked. And this is probably why Gavin Newsom, over the last 24 hours, I just checked his timeline, has released like infinity videos of him attacking President Trump and talking about how great he is and talking about things that Fox News won't cover. Crime is down across the board. Yeah, dude, we're deporting all of your murderers and rapists and criminals. That's why crime is down across the board. And ladies and gentlemen, the FBI has been arresting a lot of Californians, including the guy who just threatened to kill my family. He was from California. He's pled guilty and now is rotting in federal prison. Well, anyway, we found out that there are several investigations into Gavin Newsom, and they're focused on his wife's taxes and his former chief of staff. So we learned this last week. Gavin has been panicking, and now we officially know why. It's not because Donald Trump's being mean to him. It's not even because all of this started under Joe Biden. It's because his own staffers were wearing an FBI wire to nab him, and they got the goods, dude. Look at this. The FBI have an informant wearing a wire for years in Gavin Newsom's office. Look at this. Joe Biden started the investigation into Gavin Newsom. Lots of Democrats need to issue apologies on this. Let's go ahead and read. FBI infiltrated Gavin Newsom's inner circle by convincing governor's strongest ally to wear a wire, according to the lawyers. Look at this. The FBI had a mole inside of Gavin Newsom's political orbit before the agency's corruption probe expanded to the governor and his wife. Democrat insider Alexis Podesta, 45, secretly recorded conversations during the criminal probe into Gavin Newsom's then chief of staff, Diana Williamson, who pled guilty to federal tax fraud and tax charges. So they got her to plead guilty. Now, federal prosecutor friends of mine who know how these cases work, guys who have prosecuted federal cases for 40 years, tell me that when you have somebody this high up that's pleading guilty to tax charges and federal fraud charges, these are lesser charges for like the grand conspiracy charges that could put you away for decades. Why would they charge somebody on lesser charges? They're giving up the bigger fish. They're giving up the larger tunas to the feds. The reason why Gavin Newsom's chief of staff would plead guilty, because that's, of course, a horrible news day for them. That's the end of their career. That's something really bad that happens to Gavin Newsom. The reason why they would plead guilty is because they have taken a side against Gavin Newsom in a federal probe, and that they're going to give up now Gavin Newsom and his entire operation. And that is presumably what's happening here, as we have now learned that the feds had demonstrable evidence against Gavin Newsom and his team because they have it all on tape. The revelation that she was wearing a wire from far back as June 2024. Hold on, June 2024? Who was president in June 2024? Was it Orange Man bad? Is it Donald Trump? Is it No King's Trump? No, it's freaking Joe Biden. But also, who was running for president in 2024? It was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom have a blood feud that goes back a very long time. And I think that people need to start understanding that that's actually going to be the ball game for Democrats in the year 2028. It's going to be Gavin versus Kamala. Obviously, AOC and the Democrat Socialists are going to have a big part in this. But the two heavyweights that could actually hold it down are going to be Kamala and versus Gavin. So you see AOC is spiking here. Kamala Harris at 6%, Gavin Newsom at 20%. Gavin Newsom's chances are collapsing right now. Let's go ahead and continue the read. Alexis wore a wire, said McGregor Scott, Williamson's lawyer and former U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of California, who's now investigating Gavin Newsom. Whoa. Sacramento political insiders and lobbyists were stunned to receive FBI letters last fall informing them that their phone calls had been intercepted during the investigation, despite many having little to no connection with Williamson because she wore a wire. Yo, dude, you are cooked, bro. The disclosure comes as Newsom announced last month that he and his wife, whose nonprofit had been burning money in recent years, as well as members of the governor's inner circle, are under federal investigation. Within hours of that announcement, Newsom blasts out an email to raise money. Assembly member Josh Hoover told the Post that among those who received one of the letters, even though he has never spoken with Williamson or Podesta. Oh, so he received a letter saying that he had his phone calls grabbed up. Well, the reason why this is important is because you have the third-party jump factor, right? Where if the individual who's wearing the wire has any type of connection to you at all, or somebody you know, then the FBI can begin to spy on you. Now, you can argue whether that is a massive violation of our privacy in this country, but Patriot Act, that's just the way that these things work. And it's too bad. I think it should be argued in court, but this is how they got Trump. This is how they rolled up the Carter page. So they had like the third part, like somebody who was being spied on by the FBI, or they were being surveilled by the FBI, had a contact with Carter Page, and they were able to just jump on over there and start spying on him. So if they were able to do this with Gavin Newsom and his organization, then you got everybody, man. Whoa. A separate source with knowledge of the matter said that they knew 4 Sacramento insiders who also received FBI notifications confirming them that they had been recorded. One recipient told the source, dude, I got this effing letter. I never even met with Diana Williamson. The curiosity was that they never even met with Diana Williamson. Yeah, dude, you don't understand the Patriot Act, man. As long as you have a connection to someone she knows, they can start spying on you. That's how Orwellian things are. But hey, listen, man, this is what they used against Donald Trump. And now they're using it against Gavin Newsom. This is really something else. Their curiosity was that they never even met Diana Wilson. So they were wondering what this is all about. And now you have the answer. It's about Gavin Newsom. The governor publicly accused Donald Trump of directing the Justice Department to investigate him as political retaliation. Trump previously called for Newsom's arrest. The sources familiar with the matter told the Post the federal investigators have spent years digging into not only Newsom, but his wife's taxes. Sybil Newsom accused Trump of having no boundaries. Whistleblowers reportedly tipped off the feds to launch the probe into Newsom. Whistleblowers from inside of Gavin Newsom's office. Dude, Chief of Staff has been wearing a wire on behalf of the FBI for years. He's cooked. Before people claim it's Trump, this all started under Biden, which we all know is the Kamala Harris investigation. Ooh, baby. You are going to prison. Just got worse. You revealed today that the Democrat insider Newsom appointee, Alexis Podesta, secretly wore a wire. Yo, this is going to be bad. Could it be that this is what Spencer Pratt was talking about when he announced that he has information that's going to bring down the entire system in California? Secret recordings is what Spencer Pratt said. Is this what he was talking about? Just a reminder. Baby, they're cooked. Here's Spencer Pratt announcing the secret recordings that will bring down all of California.
We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace? Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades, all the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools, all the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now, we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was going to stop me? If you want to stop me,
you're gonna have to fucking kill